Hello there, guys, and welcome back to Sean on Sports. I hope you're all well. Sorry, this isn't a video that I filmed. I'm in a bit of a mare with my battery, but nonetheless, today's video is all about the Champions League and which English club I will think will go furthest. So, I won't lie to you, I've had to rip this script up after Manchester United's performance last night. I wrote this the other day in advance, and I basically was going to say about how Manchester United would be knocked out of the Champions League. But there you go, that has taught me a lesson there. So let's start with last night. Surely they now have to give Ole Gunnar Solskjaer the job. It'd be stupid not to now. I put a poll on my Twitter last night at Sean on Sports, and I asked a simple question. Was Manchester United's win last night bigger than the 05 Champions League final that Liverpool won? And the reason why I asked that was because if you compare the two situations, obviously Manchester United had 10 players injured, and they had, I think it was 4 teenagers on their bench, and they used 3 of them. That's unprecedented now in modern football. And the fact they had to go to PSG. Yes, they got oil money, but they've got probably some of the best footballers in the world in their team, the likes of Neymar, Mbappe, Draxler, you can go on. And they had to, score 3 goals in the end. It's unbelievable how the game panned out. Now, yes, there is big concerns over VAR. Was it a penalty? Was it handball? I don't think it was, personally. I get why he give it, but also you have to use a bit of common sense there, don't you? He tried to block the shot, and yes, he did turn his back, but he didn't move his arm to the ball. He didn't intentionally put his hand there to block the ball, which I think there's a big grey area over, isn't there? Anyway, for me, the Champions League is wide open now. Obviously, on Tuesday night, we had the Galacticos Real Madrid. They suffered an embarrassing defeat to Ajax by their standards, and I think we could see the first English winner potentially of the Champions League for the first time in 7 years. So at the time of recording this video, both Man City and Liverpool still have their second legs to play. But interestingly, I had a look at the odds, who was favourite to win the Champions League. And Man City are the current favourites, Barcelona second favourites. But what I want to get over in this video is I believe there could be an all-English Champions League final. Stay tuned to who I think the 2 English teams will be. Also on Tuesday night we had Spurs. They beat Dortmund 1-0. Quite a good game, I thought. Some people thought it was boring, but I saw the 2 legs, Spurs and Dortmund, and it was 2 very different performances. You had Spurs, they were attacking best in the first leg at Wembley when they won 3-0, and then away at Dortmund, they put in a great defensive performance, and as we know, Harry Kane on the break slotted the ball, and they won 1-0. Now, as many of you probably know, this is obviously Spurs' best chance at silverware this season. In my opinion, they're definitely out of the Premier League race. I think that's just between Manchester City and Liverpool now. So I think Spurs probably will, throw all their eggs in one basket going for the Champions League. I'm by no means saying I think Spurs will win the Champions League, but this is their best chance at silverware at the moment. If we move on to Liverpool now, while they're the most successful English club in the Champions League, I'm not sure their heart is fully in it as much as previous years because they've got the big one of going for the Premier League. Don't get me wrong, I'm sure if you ask Liverpool fans, they will say that they want to win both. But if you compare the Liverpool and the Man City squads, there's definitely a gulf in class, in my opinion. And obviously, Man City's got the biggest squad out of the 2. I mean, they can call on the likes of Mahrez, etc., etc., and who Liverpool got, Divock Origi. So you can't really compare their two squads in that sense. But like Man City, they still have their second legs to get through. So it'd be interesting. And of course, if Liverpool and Man City both win, we'll have all four English teams in the quarterfinals. I wonder what the odds were of that on the start of the week. So, as I mentioned earlier, I believe it could be an all English final. Of course, we have to draw next Friday, I think it is. And of course, one of these teams are bound to get a Juventus or a Barcelona. But it's all about the luck of the draw. You could potentially have a Man City and Tottenham final. That's what I'm predicting. You might say I'm stupid. Of course, after last night, it's proved you can't rule out Man United. So, let me know down below who you think is going to do the best out of the English clubs, and also who you think will win the Champions League. All I've got left to say is thanks for watching. Don't forget to like and subscribe and turn on the notification. Also, don't forget to follow me on Twitter. I'll put that down below. That'd be much appreciated. And I shall speak to you next time.